talking with JAQUIE SCAMMELL, a customer service expert and author. Have we lost the spirit of service in Australia? Good morning, JAQUIE. How you doing?
Good morning, Mel. I'm really well, thank you.
It's lovely to talk with you, and I think timely that we have the conversation. JobKeeper really has been a lifesaver for a lot of Australians, but as we're moving forward and things are changing, has it been, has it been not abused as such, but maybe we're relying on it too much?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I sort of wonder, the whole purpose of JobKeeper is to keep people in jobs, but what's happening, I know, in a lot of industries like hospitality and retail and the pubs is that it almost feels like the motivation to come back to work is missing a little bit. And I guess it begs the question, does money really affect motivation when it comes to jobs?
That's a really big question, because there is a lot of criticism around JobKeeper and some around JobSeeker being the higher amount that it is at the moment, that we're creating a generation of people that are reliant on that welfare rather than wanting to go out and get a job. They're happy to say, all right, I'll just take the cash.
Yeah, I've heard stories of particularly casual employees who they've been, called up by their employer to say, hey, come back, we're ready to get you working again. And they're sort of weighing up, well, look, no thanks, I'd rather sort of, stay at home and I can get, a couple $100 more a week by doing nothing, as opposed to getting up, putting my uniform on, maybe risking myself on public transport and going to work for the same amount, if not less. And, good research shows, Mel, and certainly from 20 years of experience myself, that money alone is not sufficient to engage people. In fact, there's intrinsic motivators when you go to work, like feeling connected to purpose or connected to people or career progression. I'm just wondering whether, like we need a connection when we go buy our coffee as a customer. Is this maybe an unspoken from employees saying, we're just not feeling the connection to go back to work?
And is the gap that's been created due to the pandemic going to have sort of far-reaching ramifications as it stops people from developing in their workplaces, developing those skills that we need in our workforce?
Yeah, well, last year there was a report that came out that said that Australia was already facing major skills crisis, and things like, the soft skills like empathy and deep listening and social intelligence. And I can see that skills gap getting larger and larger. And I think more importantly, we've also got this unwillingness in some sectors for people to come back to work. And I think companies have got a big job of luring some people back and reconnecting them to, what their value is in an organisation.
I wonder what employers can do as far as, letting somebody go if perhaps they don't want to hop off the JobKeeper and actually come back into a working business in order to offer the position to somebody that is ready to jump back in.
Yeah, and I know as a customer, we all love to be served by someone who really wants to be there.
Yeah.
We can feel it. Yeah, so I think this is where there could be a real shift in the future for work, the workforce is those talented people that really find joy in serving people are probably going to, be high performers.
Yeah, and for some businesses, the JobKeeper payment, being able to keep their staff employed and that money helping them keep the doors open really was the difference between having a business and not having a business.
Yeah, I think the next few months are going to be really interesting in terms of decisions about what's made with, certain sectors, if they extend JobKeeper or not. But, I guess it's a watch and see. But it really does, beg the question, have we lost the spirit of service in Australia? And, how do we reignite that in people? And remembering that humans, we're wired for connection. So when we're interacting with people and serving at work, there's this natural sort of giving and receiving of connection, and I think that's where we can really tap into the human side of service a bit more and get people back working.
Yeah, absolutely. Good on you, JAQUIE. Thanks so much for your time this morning. It's really given us something to think about. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Mel. You're most welcome.